Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Far From Pro
Welcome back.
podcast. I am your host, Evan Walsh, and with me is my co-host, Joseph Meyer. We are back, and we took a few weeks off. So one of us was hit with a hurricane. Started with some football. Football got going, school got going. We got really busy. Couldn't really find time to make it work, but we are going to try our best to be more consistent now. We got a little bit more of a schedule, more of a routine going. Appreciate you guys staying with us. However, Joseph, we have a lot to catch up on.
We do.
A lot to catch up on. So we're going to dive right into college football because I think there's enough for us to get started there. And I want to start this whole thing off by saying I hope that by the time that we stop talking about college football, Urban Meyer is the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That is my hope. That is my dream. That would be my dream if Urban Meyer was the head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But more importantly, we need to get into it. Joseph, what is going on with the Nebraska Cornhuskers this season? You please walk us through it.
It's been a year. I think Urban Meyer would be a great choice if he wants to come and ruin his life and ruin his reputation. If he's up for that. No, it's been a great year. I've enjoyed it. 2-game winning streak right now, top of the Big Ten West, so you can't hate it.
Oh, my God. Top of the Big Ten West. Stop it. You know that won't last.
One of the worst divisions in football, for sure.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely, dude. If you're 3-3 and lost to Georgia Southern and you're tied for first in your division, it's not a great division to say the least.
Yeah. You're telling me, Joseph, but we really don't need to dive into that. I think what we really need to dive into is I'm watching these teams this year, and I know everyone's going to be like, oh, you're just going to talk about the top teams. Well, that's because that's all we care about, okay? That's all it really is. That's how things are. Ohio State looks phenomenal. All right, I saw in some Week 7 top 25s, they already have them coming in at number 1, some at number 2, some at number 3. There's zero doubt a top 3 team in the country, and I'm looking at their roster, and I'm looking at teams like Alabama. Now they're without Bryce Young. They did fine, pulled it off the win against Texas A&M. Overall, I'm looking at like the landscape for the college football playoff, and to me, I honestly think there's a 3-way battle between Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. How do you feel about all that? You think I'm right on that?
I think Ohio State's the best team in the country right now, to be honest. You look at what Alabama and Georgia have done, they've been good, but they both had kind of close, struggled wins. Georgia couldn't really get past. They couldn't dominate Missouri, who's garbage. Alabama, granted, without Bryce Young. Bryce Love, not Bryce Young. Without Bryce Young, they weren't able to really dominate Texas A&M, who's a really overrated team, and came down to the wire. Ohio State, those Buckeyes, haven't had many issues with just about anyone. They stomped Michigan State this week. Love to see it.
Stomped them.
You love it when Michigan State gets absolutely stomped by the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I got the Buckeyes as the top team in the nation, and you know that I'm unbiased there because I hate the Buckeyes with all my soul, with all my heart. I hate them with everything in my body, but I think they are the number 1 team in the country right now.
I can get behind that. So here's my thing. I love Alabama because I think Alabama is such a good defense. I love Will Anderson more than anything. I think that he's a complete freak of nature. Bryce Young, he's Bryce Young. He won the Heisman. He might win. Now that he's out, I don't know if he'll win it again. C.J. Stroud's probably the front runner for that right now. But to me, I'm kind of on your boat too. Ohio State does kind of look like the clear-cut number 1 team in the country. Like you said, Georgia had trouble with Missouri. And also with Georgia, I'm kind of looking at the team, and yes, they have a bunch of freaks, but their secondary is a little iffy. They've had the fact that the thing is I'm struggling. See, this is so tough for me because I'm struggling to literally talk shit about basically a top 3 team in the country. But in all reality situation, it is what I'm doing. It's tough, man. It's tough because, it's Bama. It's Bama. It's Georgia. It's Ohio State. It's like at any moment in time, any teams could take over. Right now, I'm putting Ohio State as my number 1, Alabama at my 3, and Alabama at my 2, Georgia at my 3. Okay. I think that is a solid list for right now.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, too. If Young comes back, Alabama, we know Alabama can do their thing if Young comes back. But that's the question, and C.J. Stroud's healthy and Young's not right now. I want to talk we talked a lot of crap about the Pac-12 this offseason. But how about the Pac-12 this year? USC and UCLA undefeated, about to come to the Big Ten. Man, oh man, the Cali kids are doing it all. Now, still can't get more than about 12 fans at their games, Still can't do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm still. That's the one thing that still blows my mind. So UCLA is dominating college football, playing so well right now, and still no one will go. What is with that, Joseph? What do you think it is?
I don't know. It makes no sense. I mean, the stadium is far away from campus. I get that, but still,
is it really?
Yeah, it's really far away from campus. But still,
why would they do that?
LA. It's a huge city, great team, stars. You got Chip Kelly in there, DTR.
What do you think small town kids like us would last more than 2 months in the city of LA? I don't think so, man. I mean, remember you went to Lincoln, Nebraska. You went to quite the opposite of what LA's bringing. LA's bringing to the scene here. No. I mean,
we could be 0-12 and have more fans than UCLA if they were.
Yeah, you. That's what I've noticed. You Cornhusker fans are very committed.
That's all we got. That's all we got.
I can get behind that, though. I really can, Joseph.
Utah's been okay. Oregon, lost early. They've been a little bit better lately. Pac-12 on the rise. They saw that UCLA and USC were leaving, and they're like, hey, we got to step up our game. We got to play.
Yeah,
better.
I know. Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks. Ooh. I mean, obviously, besides that week, the first.
They got thumped.
Yeah. Besides that week, but you got to understand, we got to give them a, it was a tough matchup, I understand, but no doubt that, I think Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks are going to be a solid team. Could be a Rose Bowl type team. Who knows? We will see. I don't make the Rose Bowl picks. I'm just saying having Oregon Ducks back in the Rose Bowl. I believe the last time there was that with Herb Daddy. Was Herb Daddy the last time there?
Herb Daddy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Talk a little Herb Daddy later.
Oh yeah, we will dive into the Chargers. Let me tell you something. That will not be forgotten this week. But any other things in college football? Oh, James Madison made it into the top 25 this week. I don't know if you saw that. Shout out them.
That's crazy. This is their first year as a D1 program. Exactly,
and I love it. Good for them.
How about Texas?
Yep, Texas. Quinn Ewers, baby. Quinn Ewers might be the answer.
We're back.
Might be the answer.
Oklahoma is garbage. Oh my goodness, they are terrible. And to think that those boys came in here and I had to watch them destroy my boys 49-14. Oh my!
Maybe it shows you that Lincoln Riley may mean a lot more to the Oklahoma Sooners than they thought. And he got a good deal in South Cal. Who knows? I don't write the rules, Joseph. But
How would you feel? You travel all the way to the Cotton Bowl to watch your Sooners play, and that game's over before it even started. 49-0.
It's brutal, man. It was a brutal loss
to Texas, no less.
No, yeah, it was a brutal loss. Very, very brutal loss. Oklahoma State's having a baller year this year. Good for them. That's awesome.
A lot of Big 12 schools are up
Kansas and TCU, they had a great matchup this past weekend. TCU obviously took the win, which made Kansas now have one loss. But Kansas was on the rise a little bit after that loss.
They're a solid team. And I'll tell you this. if you didn't see the story, I went to Kansas game day this weekend.
You did.
Let me tell you.
How was that?
The fan base is their love for basketball is too much. Too much. If you were an undefeated team and your college had game day come to the college, you'd think you'd be rowdy. I mean, they were excited, but it wasn't rowdy by any means. As soon as Bill Self walks out there on the stage, the volume level, it's crazy. I'm like, you guys are 5-0. You've got game day, huge game, probably the biggest game in program history in a while.
Right.
And yet you're still more hype about the basketball team walk through the crowd. Bill Self's up there giving his little spiel about how we're going to be a football team. We're going to be a basketball school, football school, whatever. Kansas, get your priorities straight. I get we love basketball here. College basketball, great sport. But man, you're 5-0. College football. Let's get a little rowdy. They did fill the stands, something UCLA is not able to do, being undefeated. So shout out Kansas. It was a great game.
Some might say Kansas fans are a not for the week if we were to do our hot or not segment.
Well,
but the thing is,
they usually have 3 fans at their game and they sold out. So
yeah, the thing is, it's also tough is they're coming off a national championship. That Kansas basketball program, they have a lot to show. They have the right to be the dominant program in that college. But again, that's basketball is not coming up here for another week or so. So we don't have to get.
I am excited for that. Got to go inside Allen Fieldhouse.
Ooh, how was it?
It's something. It's certainly something.
Could you feel the environment when you were walking through there?
Yeah, you can, but it's like it's such a small environment. Like it smells like a high school gym.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like it's you feel like you're walking into your 10th grade basketball practice. But I can imagine on game day when there's 10,000 rowdy Kansas fans, it gets crazy. So overall, great experience. Shout out Lawrence, Kansas. Never thought I'd shout out Lawrence, Kansas on a pod.
But you did.
But Kansas, they lost, but still a good game.
So, since this is probably going to be our longest segment, I say we transition to the NFL. Yeah. That was a good 10 minutes of college talk. Let's get into the NFL because I have so much to talk about. If you don't mind, Joseph, you mind pulling up the matchups from this week and we can go over?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can go over each matchup.
There's some good games I would like to talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about each and every one of them. There is one game that we will not be talking about and one team that we also not be talking about. And once that team comes up, I will shut it down and make sure we don't go any further with it. But for now, let's just continue on.
Can I take a stab at which team you don't want to talk about?
Well, let's just start with the Sunday games.
We're just going to skip over the Thursday night match.
Yeah, we're going to go right on over to the Sunday 1 o'clock games. Because to be quite frank, if we got into the Thursday night matchup,
I might fall asleep.
Well, we'd be here for 4 hours of the rant that I would be putting on. So we're going to flip right on over to Sunday 1 o'clock games.
Yeah. Well, no, there was a game before the Sunday 1 o'clock game that I want to talk about.
There was actually.
Danny
confirmed.
Dimes takes the trip across the pond.
Are the Giants back?
They're back.
Are the Giants back?
Man. Oh,
I mean, Brian Daboll might be like solidified himself as like a good NFL coach. Like this guy is a good NFL coach.
To get the Giants to 4 wins and beat the Packers, what a job.
Yeah, this guy's a miracle worker. I mean, they think that they're already as many wins as they had last year through week 5. That's pretty damn impressive. With not that big of a difference in the roster, you got Thibodeau, you got a few other guys, but like Saquon back, but like still like this. I mean, Jesus, man, this is unbelievable.
To see Aaron Rodgers' face.
Oh God,
when that ball dropped to the ground on the 4th down play. Ooh. Something I cherish right there.
The Giants may be back, but are the Packers gone?
Ooh, Packers. Hey, how about that NFC North right now? Look who's in the lead, Evan.
Hey,
not your Packers.
Hey. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Okay?
But certainly losing to the Giants in Week 5 certainly is not the best start. We can probably also kind of Giant Lions Patriots. Oh boy.
But you gotta understand though, the Lions were still the most scoring, one of the best offenses in the NFL. I still believe this Lions team has some fight in them. Once they need to figure out their defense first off, but they're not. This is a matchup I'm looking at this for the NFC North, like for the Vikings, the Packers. Don't even talk about the Bears, but the Vikings, Packers. This is a dogfight when you're going in to play against these Lions. This is not just some 2-0 matchup. You could go 1-1 or possibly 0-2 against these guys. The Lions are a good football team.
They're scrappy. We're not scrappy this week though, and Bailey Zapp kind of cooked them.
How about that?
How about it? Do we have Tom Brady Part 2?
Stop it. He had one touchdown. He had an interception, but the interception was more the receiver's fault. And I mean, he threw the ball really well. He was accurate. He was consistent. He was well. I mean, I have nothing against the kid.
Coming in for a high round draft.
Yeah, but to say that he's the next Tom Brady, and I mean these comparisons that people are making, it's drop dead absurd.
I think we said that about Mike White last year. Is Mike White the next Tom Brady?
Yeah, exactly. It's like let's all calm down for a little bit. I understand it was a great win, but I mean, if we're doing that with anybody, we're doing it with Cooper Rush. I mean, the man is 5-0. We'll get to that.
What do you think? Giselle might go over to Bailey Zapp's place of residence now?
Dude, don't even get me started with Giselle. What a joke that girl is. What a fucking joke that girl is. I'm done with her. I'm done.
I mean, you were pretty negative against Tommy Boy.
Yeah, and what? You know what? And you know what? By the way. Things are starting to really add up towards my camp.
Yes.
When I said that he wasn't a family man.
I think you said that back in March. So, dang. The predictions
things are starting to really add up now, aren't they?
They're adding up. I don't want to talk about this one. I do want to talk about this one. Chargers Browns. Oh boy.
Joseph. Let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers here for a little bit here.
Hey, win is a win. Win is a win.
But we can really dive into the Los Angeles
Great
Chargers.
teams find way to wins.
This is one of the worst teams in football right now. Is the Los Angeles Chargers? I'm looking at this roster, and can you name me right now? Do you think this is a playoff football team? To be honest.
Yes. They should be. If not, the whole coaching staff's gone.
You think this is a playoff football team off of what you've seen so far?
Once Allen comes back. If Keenan Allen comes back, yes. But the injuries have been brutal. Losing Slater is super tough. But, hey, Myles Garrett didn't really play much of a factor in this game. So maybe next man up does the job. But boy, I have been Brandon Staley's biggest defender, dude. I have been Brandon Staley's biggest defender, and man, there's no way to spin that. There's no way to spin that fourth down play. I'm sorry. It's what Jacoby Brissett. What are we doing? This isn't Patrick Mahomes. Jacoby Brissett is not driving the length of the field in 50 seconds. What are we doing? I mean, if that goes wrong. The entire, I'm so glad because I would have had nonstop. I mean, I already did have nonstop people just razzing on me. I mean, man, oh man, what are we doing? I mean, I get it. Trust the kid Herbo, but if you don't trust yourself to stop Jacoby Brissett and you're a defensive coach, what are we doing?
Well. But here's the deal. The Chargers, I'm looking at this team overall, and I'm looking at the overall team. Well, we can get into the injuries later, but here's what I'm looking at. If your team was fully healthy, right, fully loaded, fully healthy, you have a loaded roster all up and down for sure.
Doesn't matter if you can't win games. Holy.
Yeah, that is true, which you guys can't, and you guys won't when especially playing the Broncos. But I think overall, I'm looking at that team, and I'm happy because I'm not scared. I'm not. That's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, okay.
I wasn't really scared of the Colts either, but we'll see how that worked out for you.
So what's the next
Colts
game on the list?
Colts are 2-0 against the AFC West now?
So the Browns, when they get Deshaun Watson back, my 15-2 take is looking really good.
They already have 3 losses, but...
When they get Deshaun Watson back.
Okay.
You'll see.
Okay.
What's the next game?
Jacoby Brissett looked pretty good, at least against the Chargers. But
what are you trying to say?
I'm saying our pass defense looked terrible. Our entire defense as a whole looked terrible. But Austin Eckler bailed us out, so let's go back.
You're a clown, dude. You're next game.
Broncos Chargers next Monday night, I believe, right? So,
hey, no, trust me.
Why do they keep putting y'all in prime time, man? That's the third time.
We are. No,
I don't want to.
We played on Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night. Now we're gonna play on Monday night again.
Crazy.
Of our 6 games are prime time games. 4 of the 6.
Dude, you've probably scored 17 points combined in all 4 of them? Oh my lord!
Isn't it unbelievable?
They've all been some of the most ugly games I've seen.
And now it's going to happen again on Monday. I mean, we're going to win 48-0. Everyone's going to turn off the screen by halftime.
Well, I don't know about that. Texans Jaguars. That was a little bit of a surprising one.
By the way, it's either Doug Peterson or Brian Daboll our coach of the year. I still think Doug Peterson has a chance to win it if he can get if you can get the Jaguars to be above 500. I think Doug Peterson 1,000% gets coach of the year, no doubt.
Okay,
no doubt. And they look good, dude. I think the Jaguars look freaking good. I think look at Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. What's his face? What's the other receiver on Jaguars?
Is Laviska Shenault still there? Probably not.
What are you doing, Joe? What are we talking about? Who is that guy?
You're getting into the Jaguars depth chart here, guy.
Yeah, I know. That's true. It's not a good depth chart. But, I mean, they look good. Their rookie looks good. Their defense looks good. I think they look good.
I was impressed with them until this week, but I think it's a divisional game. Texans, you're bound to lose a divisional game at some point, so I don't really razz on too much for that. Bucks Falcons, again, Tom Brady. Absolute family man.
Worst penalty ever called in the entire
That was horrible. That was horrible.
It was the worst penalty that was ever called in the history of the NFL. Confirmed.
One of my buddies is a Falcons fan, and man, I don't even want I don't know what I would do.
I would shoot myself in the face. I would shoot myself if that ever happened to me. If I was a fan, and that great play, that was a great sack, great play, and they flagged him. I swear to God, I would have ripped my NFL contract in half, and I would have quit NFL right there today. Though, if I was that guy, I would have never played again. I'd
The
be, oh my
child,
God.
Tom Brady.
No,
Bucks have not looked great this year. I've not been that impressed.
You don't think so? You don't think they look that good?
No, I've not been impressed with them.
Where would you rank them in the NFL? Top 10 still? Where would you?
You got to go top 10 probably still because they got Brady.
7 to 10 range, you think?
Yeah, I haven't been super impressed. And their defense got.
I mean, they haven't really been
by the
fully
Chiefs.
healthy. True, but they haven't really been fully healthy this year, so I got to give them some slack. But still, I agree. They have not looked that good.
Yeah. Bills Steelers. The Steelers are garbage. Kenny Pickett is garbage, and you are going to eat your words on that Kenny Pickett thing.
You can't give him his first start against one of the best defenses in the NFL. You can't do it. It's not fair. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. It's so stupid that and you're not the first person to say this to me. Oh, that take is stupid. No, the take is not dumb. What's dumb is the fact that the Steelers gave this guy his first start against the Buffalo Bills. That's bullshit.
That's fair.
You gave the guy no chance. You threw him right into the fire. Oh, good luck. He's got the worst team in football. All of his receivers suck. His O-line sucks. His coach sucks. Everyone sucks. And now he's going to have to go out there and go against the best team in the NFL, and everyone expects him to do good. I mean, he did. You know what? Here's the deal. Put him against a team that he has a chance with, like the Chargers. Bad teams that he can just go out there, just throw the ball around, have fun. That's what he needs to do. They can't put him against the Buffalo Bills. Joe Burrow, how'd he do his first year in the league? Exactly. Didn't play. Didn't even play. Exactly. You know why? Because he wasn't good enough. He wasn't there. He wasn't good enough to play in the NFL yet, so he had to take a year off. Kenny Pickett's here his rookie year.
Joe Burrow?
He took the year off.
Joe Burrow got injured his first year.
Whatever the reason was, he didn't play his rookie year. He sat out.
Yeah,
he sat out.
The Steelers should probably throw him out there against the Jets maybe, and that'll work out well.
The Chargers. We need a team that.
No, if he goes against the Jets, he surely won't throw 3 interceptions and lose to the Jets. He did last week. What a surprise!
Again, you threw him into the fire. You threw him right into the fire.
Real Bills are for real.
They're okay.
They're still my Super Bowl pick. They took a tough loss to the Dolphins, and it's a divisional game again. It doesn't matter. Gabe Davis is a monster.
Can we just the Bills look okay? Don't say they look amazing. They look okay? There's some holes here and there.
Certainly, Josh Allen and Gabe Davis certainly look nice on my fantasy team. In the Far From Pro League that I'm about to put up 200.
You're a sick individual, you know that?
With Patty Mahomes sitting on my bench still. I forgot I was supposed to trade him or anything.
You're so sick. You're so sick.
Dolphins, Jets?
Well, before we go any further, Joseph, can we just tell the people listening that Joseph has Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen both on his fantasy football team. A one-quarterback league, by the way. One quarterback. He has them both on his team.
200.
He's just the most sick individual we know. I just want everyone to know that.
Cooper Kupp's on there too.
Nick Chubb.
Mostert had me a nice little day yesterday. It's all right. Something slight.
Let's just move on here, Joseph.
Jets, Dolphins. New York, dude.
New York is back. Being a New York sports fan,
not the Mets. The Mets are not back.
No,
every other team in New York.
But every other team in New York is in fact back. The Jets are over 500, 3-2. According to the rookies on their team, bro, we're so good. So I guess they're so good. I don't know. I mean, they definitely look good. I mean, they put an absolute domination on those Miami Dolphins. Then again, they were going against Skylar Thompson, but again, that's neither here nor there.
A tough fall for the Dolphins, who people are saying, this is the best team in the league after the injury to Tua.
When you lose your starting quarterback.
Well, I don't know that, I think maybe they should have gone out and got a different quarterback instead of Tua to start the year, and they would be a better team. But
you're so sick.
No,
Did he not throw five touchdowns, 400 yards against the Ravens for a win?
He did. Most of those deep balls were at least 10 yards underthrown, and Tyreek Hill's just a monster. Dude, Tyreek Hill's the best wide receiver in the league. I don't care.
Oh, you're so sick.
Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver in the league.
You are so sick.
But New York's back. That bodes well for the Nets and the Knicks maybe coming up here. I mean,
Knicks got a bunch of trades this offseason. We'll see. Hey, we'll see, Joseph. We'll see. We don't
Yankees
like
to make a run. New York. I mean, the Big Apple. How we doing?
What a place. What a time to be alive to be a New Yorker, huh?
Yeah.
What a time.
We'll see if that lasts. We'll just rattle off some more of these. Bears, Vikings. Vikings are
Justin
second best
Jefferson.
team in the NFC.
They look good.
My
Justin
predictions
Jefferson.
are looking amazing. Yeah.
Bears look like dog shit. Justin Fields is dog shit. That program is dog shit. Move on. Next team. They're dog shit.
Titans, Commanders. Didn't watch.
Titans looked fine. I mean, Derrick Henry was basically their entire team. Commanders, dog shit. So I have Terry McLaurin on my fantasy team. Dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I do like John Dotson. I think that was a good pick. Yeah, Carson Wentz is terrible.
Confirmed. Well, we knew that after
The
week
NFC,
one.
dude, NFC East, man. That's crazy that the Commanders are just bottom of
One of
it
the best.
everyone
One of the best divisions of football, from
Yeah.
what I can see.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
saying. Just putting it out there.
I just don't like the Titans. I'm not high in the Titans.
Yeah, I don't think many people are. Without now that they lost AJ Brown, it's like when you see Robert Woods as a wide receiver one, it's kind of like, ooh, there's some problems there for sure.
Yeah.
Don't like that
No.
at all. Not interested.
Saint Seahawks, Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith is
Geno
true-
Smith, the hell are we talking about him for? Taysom Hill, what are you talking about? Taysom Hill did a lot better than he did.
No.
How many touchdowns did Geno Smith have? How many touchdowns did Taysom Hill have?
It doesn't matter. Geno Smith wasn't supposed to do anything.
That's true. That's true.
Seahawks were supposed to be a 2-win team. We both said they were going to go 2-15.
He's
Geno
doing
Smith
well.
is throwing the ball around the yard. No, they're not. They don't have the best record, but they've been competitive, and
And their defense is dog shit. But
Yeah.
I mean, the rest of their
that's
team.
rare from a Pete Carroll Seahawks.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Usually
It's
you don't
funky.
expect the, but maybe that let Russ cook magic. Stuck around and
Let Russ cook.
stuck around in Seattle for a little bit.
Stop it.
And Geno Smith scooped that up. ate that
Stop
up.
it. You're a sick individual.
49ers Panthers. Matt Rule got fired today.
Thank God.
He's terrible.
College coach.
Baker Mayfield. Sorry, man. I've been.
He's in a boot. He's going to be out. He's probably going to be out for a week or two.
Yeah, we've been supportive, but man, it's been ugly.
Yeah, it's been tough, man. We've been trying to give it to you, but Jesus, you suck. I mean, that's the only way to put it. You suck.
We have been drawing at strings
Yeah,
all year.
I've been trying, man. But you're terrible.
Oh man, that pains my soul. But another man that got overlooked, Jimmy G. Let's put this down here right now. Jimmy G needs to be the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers going forward. I do not care. I feel bad for Trey
Jimmy
Lance.
G is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL.
Tough loss of Trey Lance. But man, you can't go back. You can't go back. They weren't even that good with Trey Lance when he was healthy. This was like he got injured and now they're better. Come on.
I know.
You can't go away from Jimmy G. He's just a winner. He's just a winner.
He's a cold-hearted killer, man. I completely agree with you. I love Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is a dog. I think he's a beast. And more importantly, I think he's the most underrated quarterback in the NFL. So some like big-time analysis guy said this, and I completely agree with him. He said, Jimmy G is going to be the one quarterback that when he retires, we're going to look back on his career, and we're going to be like, wow. Like, he was a winner. Mm-hmm. He played in Super Bowls. Like, we don't appreciate him now, but Jimmy G is a winning quarterback, and now he's getting paid big money with his extension and his incentive bonuses. So good for him. I'm happy for him. Trey Lance, what a joke. Sit out the rest of the year like a joke. We'll move on.
I don't know if you can talk about an injured player like that, but that's all right. I think if you looked at the 49ers with all the injuries after Lance got hurt, you're like, oh, the season's done. Mitchell's hurt. Kittle's hurt. No chance. And they've won 2 of 3 since, so you can't hate on the 49ers.
Jimmy G.
Let's see here. I'm gonna get on my soapbox here. Eagles Cardinals. I didn't place a bet on my 13-4 Eagles prediction. Just one of the worst decisions of my life. Man, I could have made a lot of money because man, oh man, this team is gonna win more than 13 games. This team might win 15 games. Reminds me a little bit of the 2015 Panthers, I believe. Dynamic quarterback back there. Cam Newton, Jalen Hurts, same diff. A.J. Brown was exactly the man for the job. Devonta Smith stepped up. The defense looks good. There's nothing but positive things for me to say. You said that Doug Peterson would win or Brian Daboll. I think it's going to be Nick Sirianni because I think this team's going to get the bye, and he took a team that was in the absolute dog about the Super Bowl contenders. So love me some Eagles. Love rooting for the boys. Jalen Hurts is that guy.
I can get behind that a little bit, but I think I agree with you. I think that the Eagles are the best team in football right now. I think Jalen Hurts is a complete freak. However, the only thing that scares me about that team is injuries. As long as everyone stays healthy on that team, and I get, like everyone goes, well, everyone kind of talks about like this and that, like their defense isn't that good. Not true, actually. Their defense is one of the best in the NFL. That's confirmed. And then they're always talking about, well, their special teams this, and then, is Jalen Hurts that guy? And then, can Jalen Hurts really do? Look, this team is legit. They've proven it now 5 weeks in a row. And I agree with you, Joseph. I think 15 wins is actually a very reasonable number for this team if they can stay healthy. The second they don't get healthy, I think the wheels fall off immediately and they're a joke. That's all. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I feel.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's fair. Cowboys, Rams. How about them boys? Cooper Rush. You talked about it. The new Tom Brady? Come on now. Cooper Rush.
Is Cooper Rush that man? Is Cooper Rush maybe the best backup quarterback this league's ever seen? He's stepping in for Dak because Dak's that man. He's stepping in and saying, you know what? I need to step up and win for this Dallas Cowboys. Go Cowboys! The real people of this generation, the real fans of this world. These Cowboy fans are sick. They're degenerates. There's nothing good about them. But let me tell you something. Cooper Rush is their Lord and Savior. I completely get behind how good of a backup quarterback that guy is.
Yeah, it actually makes the Cowboys rootable somehow. You can look at Cooper Rush out there and kind of cheer for the guy. So good for Cowboys fans. I was cheering for him yesterday, strangely enough. Then last night's game, Bengals-Ravens. Tough season so far for the Bengals. Not exactly what they wanted. I think they're still a good team, but not exactly a Super Bowl contender like they may have hoped. Joe Shiesty and the boys.
Yeah, that's to say the least. The Bengals do not look – obviously it's not the start they wanted, but I think they're going to figure it out. They always do. Joe Burrow is the type of guy to get his head on focus, be the leader he is, and take over that team. I'm really not afraid of them in any way, shape, or form or put out the panic button at all. However, I will say that the Ravens, on one hand, get me a little nervous with their play calling. I don't like how inconsistent they are, with who gets involved, who dominates. Usually you have the same type of guy. Obviously, they have Lamar Jackson as number one dude, but, when you talk about the receivers, the running backs, and J.K. Dobbins, they don't really – it's just they're very inconsistent with their offense. And it scares me a little bit. Obviously, they have their loaded roster. They have a bunch of talent. If this team can stay healthy and have no problems, I don't see why neither of these teams can get a run in the playoffs. But I agree. The Bengals not the best start, but I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think the Ravens will be pretty good this year. Lamar Jackson's a little inconsistent. He had another couple bad misses down the sideline, another pick that was untimely. But, it doesn't really matter if they're winning games. So that division's wide open because certainly Browns aren't taking over it. Bengals haven't looked great. Steelers are garbage. And the Ravens have looked the best out of the three so far. So maybe it's theirs for the taking.
I completely agree, Joseph. It's going to be them or the Bengals. Who knows? Maybe the Browns can make a little bit of a comeback. Maybe can get some few wins, get Deshaun back. We'll see. But overall, I think this was a great comeback episode. I don't want to get too far into it, but we were able to touch up on college football, get the NFL. We're going to be more consistent, so we don't have to dive into as much stuff. We'll get some more segments because we'll have more time. But we'd like to thank everyone for listening. Check us out on everything: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, whatever it may be. However you listen, we appreciate you listening. We will be back next week. And Joseph, send the people off, please.
Peace.